Be sure to follow Wager Detective on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok.
Hello and good day, folks. This is Wager Detective. We're going to cap this Brewers versus Padres game. The Brewers are minus 126, the Padres plus 116. Today is August 11th, 2026. The over-under is 7.5. Juice to the under at minus 112. Let's take a look at this cap. The Brewers 5-4 in their last 9, plus 9 run differential. They're hitting .231 in their last 9, scoring 3.56 runs a game to 3.33 for their opponents. And again, their plus 9 run differential, outscoring opponents 32-30 in their last 9 games. 16 for 68 in their last 9 games with runners in scoring position. So Brewers looking pretty good last 9 games. If we look at what they've done, they lost against the Angels, Pittsburgh. They did beat Pittsburgh 3 out of 4, and then they split. They won 2 out of 3 versus Minnesota, and then they lost against the Padres yesterday. So a little bit of a mixed bag there on what they're doing. When we look at this team, we look at Terang, Contreras, Bowers, Chourio, Mitchell, Yelich just came back. They got a balanced team. Chourio leading the team in batting average at .280, Bowers with 21 home runs, and Terang with 74 RBI. So a mixed bag, but they're all balanced. It's a balanced team. They're not based off of home runs. They're based off of everybody playing their part on this team. Pretty good team there. Now, if we look at the road games this year, 33-23 for the Brewers, pretty good. 4.75 runs per game. They're getting about 9 hits a game. Not a home run hitting team. They're batting .248 on the road this year. OBP 33% and their OPS 71%. Pretty good for this team. They're very, very balanced, very, very good. And I definitely like the manager of this team. If we look at what they're doing in night games this year, 47-26. They're scoring 4.96 runs per game under the lights. On-base percentage 33% and their OPS 73%. If we look at what they're doing in night games, batting .252. That's a solid baseline for what this team is doing. Very, very balanced, very, very good in what they're doing. So the Brewers, a team to be contested with. We're looking against what they're doing against right-hand pitching, what they'll see against Buehler today. .258 average against right-handed pitching. On-base percentage 34% and their OPS 75%. They're scoring 3.8 runs per game against right-handed pitching this year. And again, home runs not really their big thing. They're not a power hitting team. They just string along hits. They rely on their pitching, and that's how they win games. And again, with that lineup that they got, they're solid. If we look at what they've done since July, they're 22-14. They're averaging 4.36 runs a game and batting .239 since July. The OPS still solid, 71%. On-base percentage, 33%, and batting .239 again. Home runs, not really a big thing with them, but they are getting 8 hits per game in their games since the month of July. So that's pretty solid. They'll be seeing Walker Buehler today, 6-5 this year with a 5.07 ERA, a 1.46 WHIP. And the former Dodger having a pretty decent year, but that ERA is concerning and the WHIP is concerning as well. This year, Buehler, 23 starts. He is giving up 9.38 hits per 9. And look at the walks, 3.74 walks per 9. The strikeouts, only 8 strikeouts per 9. Doesn't really have the hit and swing and miss stuff, and the walks are concerning. And 1.16 home runs per 9 for Buehler this year in 108 innings pitched. Again, 9 hits per 9 there. So it's going to be a challenging spot for him against this Brewers team that's very, very patient. Last 5 starts, his team is 5-0 when he starts, plus 13 run differential. They're scoring 6.4 runs a game to 3.8 for their opponents. And he's got a 5.06 ERA, and he's given up 9.7 hits per 9 in his last 5 starts. That obviously tells me that this team is hitting for him in his last 5 starts. And when we look at this, Buehler's recent results are a mixed bag, as it shows here. The wins did come against the Diamondbacks, the Giants, Marlins, Braves, and the Blue Jays. I think the Brewers' bats are way more patient and way more better than all these lineups here. Outside of the Diamondbacks and Braves, but I think the Brewers got the better lineup than these last 5 opponents that Buehler has seen. So it's going to be interesting here. 5.06 ERA in his last 5 starts. So if we look at what Buehler's done in home starts this year, He does have a 4.71 ERA. He's giving up 9 hits a game, a little over a home run a game. If you look at the walks, 3.45 walks per 9 in his home starts this year. Opponent's batting average is 259, so not really good there. If we look at what he's done in night games this year, it doesn't get much better. He's got a 4.91 ERA. His record is 4-3 in night games this year. And if we look at the walks, they go up in night games. He's got 4.26 walks per 9 in his 15 game starts in night games this year, and batting average against him is 280 in night games this year. So against this Milwaukee Brewers team that just lost yesterday to this San Diego team, it's going to be tough sledding in this game, I believe. Now, Buehler has been more effective against right-handed hitters, holding them to a 238 average compared to 291 against left-handed hitters. And if we look at his last 9 games, if we look at the Padres' last 9, they are 6-3, +4 run differential, and they're batting .250 in their last 9 games. The Padres are. They're 19 for 71 in their last 9 games with a .268 average, which is very, very good. They're scoring 4.4 runs per game to 4 runs a game for their opponent over their last 9. The Padres are hitting the ball. They're getting the job done, and they're batting .268 with runners in scoring position in their last 9 games. So, that's a good sign going into this game, and I like this team. You look at who they have in their lineup: Tatis, Merrill, Machado, Bogart, Sheets. I mean, Merrill is just an unsung hero of this lineup. You got Ty France. This is a really, really fun team. Machado leading the team in home runs with 23. Tatis leading the team in batting average. And if you look at the RBIs, Machado leading the team there with 70 RBIs. I think Milwaukee's a little more balanced, but this team is very, very fun, the Padres, and they're looking to make a playoff push. If we look at the Padres in home games this year, they're 35-26, scoring 3.84 runs per game, and their batting average at home is not really that great, 23%. Batting average, 229. And if we look at their OPS, 673, not really that great. Slug, 36%. And they're a little under a home run a game at home in home games this year, but they are 35-26 at home. If we look at night games this year, they're 36-40, scoring 3.91 runs a game with a 232 batting average, 672 OPS, and a 365 slug. Not really that great. They're getting on base around 31% of the time in night games this year. So, solid team. Against left-handed pitching, which you'll see tonight in Harrison, they are. When I looked at the split, at-bats are only 1,000 compared to 3,000 versus right-handed pitching, so they've seen way more right-handed pitching than they have left-handed pitching this year. And if you look at this team, they got a 240 average against left-handed pitching this year. If we look at what they're doing, they're only getting 2 hits a game against left-handed pitching. Again, it's because they haven't seen them that much. 1,000 at-bats compared to 3,000 at-bats against right-handed pitching. Now, they're going to see Kyle Harrison, 9-2 this year with a 2.84 ERA. He was out for a month with forearm tightness. He came back last game and pitched really, really well in his first game back with 10 strikeouts. We'll get into that later, but he's got 111 strikeouts on the year with a 1.04 whip. If we look at Kyle Harrison on the year, 9.2 with a 2.84 ERA. He is giving up around a home run a game, and he's striking out 11.26 batters per 9 with a 1.04 whip. So Kyle Harrison, back off the IL, looking good on his season numbers, 9-2. And again, a 2.84 ERA on the year for Kyle Harrison. And the Padres haven't seen a lot of left-handed pitching this year. If we look at the last 5 starts, Kyle Harrison is 2-3. His team is -6 run differential. They are scoring 3.4 runs a game to 4.6 for their opponents. He does have a 3.91 ERA in his last 5 starts. And he's striking out 12 batters per 9 in his last 5 outings. So very, very interesting there. I think if you look at these numbers and what they're doing, I do expect the Brewers to hit the ball tonight. And if we look at Harrison again, after spending roughly a month on the injured list with left forearm tightness, Harrison made his highly anticipated return to the Brewers rotation, and he looked dominant. Harrison, 5 innings pitched, 10 strikeouts. He struck out 8 consecutive batters before he was taken out of the game. So he's coming into this game strong. He's rested. He's on 5 days rest here. And it's going to be interesting to see what he does against this Padres lineup that is so dynamic with what they got. We look at the bullpens. Look at this. Both these teams in the top 5 in baseball. The Padres number 3 in baseball in bullpen. Brewers number 4. McGill's their ace out of the bullpen there, and then Mason Miller, who came in yesterday, shut down the Brewers in the 9th inning to get the win for the Padres. So it's both these bullpens are very, very fantastic. If we look at what these guys have done in the last week, the Brewers have not pitched. Their bullpen hasn't seen any work in the last 2 days. You look at Trevor McGill, he's got 3 innings pitched with a 0.00 ERA. I don't think you'll see Sensatella or DL Hall. And then you got Ashby, who's pitched 3 innings this week. Uribe, who's pitched 3 innings. Both those guys have not given up any ERAs out of the bullpen this week, and either has McGill. So I would say that both these bullpens are great. Now, we look at Mason Miller. He closed the game out yesterday. And then Morjan and Matsui. Matsui came in the 7th yesterday and gave up nothing. And then Morjan came in the 8th, gave up nothing. And then Miller came in the 9th yesterday. So all these guys are rested. Peralta didn't pitch yesterday. Hasn't pitched in the last 2 games. Kyle Hart hasn't pitched in the last 2 games. Griffin Canning got banged up this week. 1 inning pitched, 27 hits with an 18 ERA. But they're formidable as well. The Brewers and the Padres both have great ERAs, guys. If I'm looking at this game, I got to lean to the Brewers here. I'm basing it off of the fact that they lost yesterday. This Brewers team is a little bit more together in what they're doing. And if you look at this line, it is -126. I trust Harrison here. The Padres haven't seen a lot of left-handed pitching this year, and they only scored 3 runs yesterday. I expect the Brewers to get back on track here against Buehler, who hasn't looked great all year long. So that's Wager Detective's call here. Wager Detective calling the Padres to win this game. Wager Detective calling the Brewers to win this game, -126. As far as the over-under, you'd be hard-pressed to take the over here. I do like the under, but Wager Detective's stronger lean here is the Brewers on the money line, -126. This is Wager Detective. Thank you for watching this video. Be sure to share this video, like this video, and I love all my fans out there, present and future. And let's go Brewers. I like the Brewers tonight. I like Harrison. I like this lineup of Milwaukee. I think Milwaukee's going to make a big run this year, possibly get to the finals in the National League. And I think they got a good shot as anybody else. They got the pitching, they got the hitting. They're not a power hitting team, but tonight I like them to beat the Padres. So again, the Brewers on the money line, -126, and the game to go under. Thank you for tuning in. This is Wager Detective, and I love all my fans out there, and I'll talk to you soon.
Be sure to follow Wager Detective on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok.